Title: Flight 217, Venom in the Sky. Station 1, original story. Soft engine hum fades in. A calm Australian accent speaks over ambient cabin noise. Narrator: The sky over Sydney was velvet blue that morning. The kind of calm that makes you forget anything bad could ever happen. Flight 217 was scheduled for a routine trip to Los Angeles. Full flight, ordinary faces, ordinary dreams. At least, that's how it started. Captain Harris had been flying for 20 years. The man trusted the air more than the ground. And today, everything felt precise, right down to the minute. But 30 minutes after takeoff, a quiet tension slipped through the cabin. It began with a scream from row 23. A woman stood frozen, her eyes locked on something sliding beneath the seats. A snake, not one, not two. A wave of them, black, green, brown. They moved like spilled ink under the dim lights. Passengers gasped, their shoes scraping against the floor as they climbed onto seats. The crew tried to calm them, but within moments, chaos drowned reason. Someone shouted from the back, "They're everywhere!" And they were. The captain's voice came over the intercom, calm, rehearsed, but with an edge of disbelief. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a wildlife containment issue. Please remain seated. Wildlife containment issue." That's what he called it. As if a few polite snakes had simply stowed away for the trip. But deep in the cargo hold, a maintenance worker's forgotten words echoed in Harris's mind. There was a passenger insisting his luggage stay close. That passenger was sitting in seat 11C, a man with one eye, quiet, composed, too composed. The flight attendants had noticed him before takeoff, never removing his glove, never blinking that single pale eye. When the panic spread, he didn't move. He simply smiled. And the pilot's stomach dropped. Captain Harris left the cockpit, something no captain should do mid-flight. But he had to see. The cabin was chaos. Passengers crying, snakes striking at shadows, crew trying to grab blankets to trap them. Harris's boots crunched on broken glass from a spilled drink. Then he saw the one-eyed man stand. "Do you hear it, Captain? That's fear. I've set it free." The man's voice was soft, almost admiring. But when Harris saw the open duffel bag at his feet, he understood. It wasn't random. It was released. The snakes had been kept in temperature-controlled containers, released by design. But before the man could finish his sentence, a hand struck him from behind. A young passenger, trembling but furious. Then another joined in, and another. It wasn't vengeance. It was survival. The cabin became a storm of motion, passengers pinning the man to the floor, while crew scrambled to gather the snakes that hadn't vanished into the vents. Captain Harris knelt beside the restrained man, eyes burning. Why? Man, smiling faintly. "To remind you, you're never really above the earth." The rest of the flight was a blur of adrenaline and control. The crew improvised, sealing off compartments, herding passengers to the front, even using cabin blankets as makeshift barriers. But the true fight was invisible, inside the cockpit. Every system had to stay functional. The oxygen flow, the pressure, the balance of fear and order. Captain Harris returned to his seat, his co-pilot staring, pale. "Co-pilot, what do we do about the snakes?" "Captain, we keep the plane in the air." And somehow they did. 3 hours later, Flight 217 touched down in Honolulu. Emergency landing. Doors opened. Air rushed in. The silence that followed felt louder than the chaos before it. The one-eyed man was taken away in cuffs, his expression unreadable. The snakes were collected, most of them still alive, still restless. And in the official report, it was written off as a containment breach caused by an unstable passenger. But Captain Harris never believed it was that simple. Because when the investigation team inspected the cargo hold, they found something else. A small black box, not from the plane, but from a different aircraft entirely. Inside it, a recording. A man's voice. The same one. "This is only Flight 1. That night, Harris sat in the empty cockpit long after the plane was cleared. He looked out at the quiet runway, thinking about the snakes, the fear, and the man who'd unleashed it. And for the first time in his career, he didn't feel safe above the clouds. This is Station 1. You've just heard Venom in the Sky.